Hello dear students. So next topic of group theory is center of a group. तो group basically की है एक set है together with the binary operation which satisfy 4 axioms. ठीक है ग्रुप ਦਾ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦਾ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਉਹ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਿਊਟ ਕਰ ਜਾਣ ਸੋ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਦੀ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਜਨਰਲੀ ਡਿਨੋਟਡ ਬਾਈ z of g center of g which contain the element of g such that gx is equal to xg for all x belongs to g means those element g1 g2 of g which commute with any element x of g. Commute means this property gx is equal to xg, that means interchanging the order does not change the answer. So this is center. Now what type of element are in this? First element that belongs to z or zg is e. Why? Because e commute with x, because x into e or e into x both are equal. So this property is true for all x belongs to g. Therefore e is the element of z. Now we are going to prove whether z is a subgroup or not. It is a subgroup. How? First we have taken this definition. Again we are writing the element in z are those element in g such that x into g is g into x for all x belongs to g, and also e belongs to z. Simply I am writing z. Therefore z is not phi, it is non-empty set. Therefore to prove this is a subgroup, for subgroup our criteria is if two elements are in H, then A into B inverse must be in H, then only H is a subgroup. Right? This is the criteria that we have developed. So now to prove this to be a subgroup, we take two elements out of this. So let these two elements be g1 and g2. You can take AB also. So these are the two elements of z. Because these two are elements of z, so they must satisfy this property. That means g1 will commute with x and g2 will also commute with x. Being the element of z, they must commute with x for all x. Now what you have to do is pre and post multiply this term by g inverse. So pre and post multiply by g2 inverse. This is same, we are going to keep it same. Here we have to multiply it. Why we will multiply I will tell you later. Now see this. So this is the original expression. What we will do, we will multiply by g2 inverse pre. This is pre, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ pre, ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ post. ਦੋਨੋਂ ਸਾਈਡ ਕਰਨਾ g2 ਇਨਵਰਸ, ਇੱਧਰ ਵੀ g2 ਇਨਵਰਸ. ਇਹ ਵਾਲੀ ਟਰਮ ਸੀ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ g2 ਇਨਵਰਸ ਨਾਲ pre ਤੇ post ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਤਾ. ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਹ g2 ਇਨਵਰਸ into g2 is e and e is into anything remains same, I ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ. On the other hand, here also g2 into g2 inverse is e, so we will get g2 inverse into x. So this is our second result that we obtained from this. So I circle these two. which we are going to use to prove this is a subgroup, this Z. So for proving Z to be a subgroup, we have taken these two elements in Z. Our aim is to prove G1 into G2 inverse belongs to Z. According to this criteria, we are going to prove this thing. So to prove this G1 into G2 inverse belongs to Z, what we need to prove, Z ਦਾ element ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਮਿਊਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ x ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। तो ਆਪਾਂ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਿ ਕੀ x ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੈਫਟ ਜਾਂ ਰਾਈਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਸਾਈਡ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ। ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਪ੍ਰੂਵ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੂਵ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਿ G1 into G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ x ਨਾਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੀ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਜਾਂ ਪੋਸਟ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੇਮ ਹੀ ਆਵੇ। ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦੀ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟ of Z if this into x ਜਾਂ x into this element interchange ਕਰਤੀ place लेकिन same answer आवे, commute कर जावे x ਦੇ ਨਾਲ for all x ਤਾਂ ਇਹ element Z ਦਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ठीक है, तो ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆਪਾਂ prove करनी है। so x ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, x ਨਾਲ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨਾ, ਬ੍ਰੈਕਟ ਇਹਦੀ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰੋ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ G1 ਹੈ G2 x ਹੈ these are the element of G and G is a group। तो group ਵਿੱਚ associative ਲਾ true ਹੈ। सो आ वैल्यू आ गई, ये ਆਪਾਂ पुट करना ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀ that is this one। ठीक है, ਇਹ ਕੀ ਆ ਗਿਆ G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ into x, ਇਹਦੀ ਵੈल्यू ਕਿੰਨੀ ਹੈ x into G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ। तो it is x into G2 inverse means ਇਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਿਊਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਆ G1 as it is। now we again change the bracket, G1 into x ਤੇ bracket ਪਾ ਦੋ ਤੇ G2 inverse as it is। ठीक है, into है। now this G1 into x again from the result that we have done here, G1 into x is x into G1, so G1 into x is x into G1। ਬਾਰ ਬਾਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖਣ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਾ x ਨਾਲ ਕਮਿਊਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਈਡ x ਆਪਾਂ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਬ੍ਰੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ तो G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ x ਨਾਲ ਕਮਿਊਟ ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ x into G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ ਇੰਟਰਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਪਲੇਸ। ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬ੍ਰੈਕਟ ਚੇਂਜ ਕੀਤੀ, ਇੱਥੇ G1 into x ਆ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ G1 ਵੀ x ਨਾਲ ਕਮਿਊਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਲਈ ਇਹ G1 into x is x into G1। ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਬ੍ਰੈਕਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ G1 ਤੇ G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਾ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੀ ਆ ਅਲਟੀਮੇਟਲੀ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ कि G1 G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ x ਨਾਲ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ x into G1 G2 ਇਨਵਰਸ means this element commute with x for all x because x was chosen arbitrary element of G, so this commute with x for every x means this element belongs to Z, this is the element of center। so this proves the result कि if G1 G2 are two elements of Z, then G1 into G2 inverse also belongs to Z, which proves Z is a subgroup of G। Important corollary that Z is equal to G means the set and its center are equal, means the whole set is its center, so this will become the overlapping sets in case G is abelian। Abelian means commutative property hold for every element of G। so how to prove this, firstly we let Z is equal to G and we will prove G is abelian। so if Z is equal to G and Z is the set of element of G which commute with each element of G and it is equal to G, we have taken this, now it means every element of G commute with G, right? for every element, that means every element of G commute with x for all x belongs to G। that means x into G is equal to G into x for all x comma G belongs to capital G, because this set is equal to G, that means this element is also in G and it is commuting with x for all x that means G is abelian. Abelian group means commutative property holding for each element. Now conversely, if we take G abelian group, and what we have to prove? We have to prove that Z is equal to G. So obviously Z is a subset of G because Z is made from the element of G. So it is a subset. Now we have to prove that both are equal. So when two sets are equal, I have already told you two sets A and B are equal if and only if A is a subset of B and B is subset of A. So in this case also these two are equal if both are subset of each other. Z is a subset of G. Now we have to prove that G is a subset of Z. So to prove one set to be subset of other, we have to take one element from this and we will prove that this element belongs to the other set. So here we take one element X in G, right? So this is the element of G and G is abelian. Therefore X will commute with G for all G belongs to capital G, right? Because it is abelian, it will commute with each element. Now this element G, it is commuting with Gx for all X belongs to G, because this commutative property hold for every element. So this element commute with all the elements. So it means all the element of X and G, you can say, because we have randomly chosen those elements, abelian property hold for each element. So this element X is commuting with each element. That means X belongs to Z. The element which commute, here is some element X, so it is commuting with each element of G. That means it is in the center. So it belongs to Z. So X was the element of G. It is also in Z and X is randomly chosen element. It means for every element which we take in G will belongs to Z. That means G will be a subset of Z. From these two, Z is a subset of G, G is a subset of Z, we can say both are equal. So this is very important result. If G is abelian, then all the elements of G are the elements of the center. Now the next topic is normalizer of A, which is written as NA. Normalizer of A, what is this? If G is a group and A is any element of G, then normalizer of A is the set of elements of G which commute with A. So this is again in the same way, G is a group and A is any element in the group. Now those elements of G which commute with A, they form the normalizer. A little bit difference between the normalizer and center of a group is this. Center means those elements which commute with each element of G. Normalizer means they are commuting with A only. So here A is fixed, right? So this is the definition of normalizer. Now we will prove that normalizer is a of A is a subgroup of G, and also we will show that Z is a subset of normalizer. Means Z the centralizer, or Z the center of a group. Here let it be the center Z. Then it will be contained in normalizer of A. This is what we have to show. So first we will show that it is a subgroup and A is a subgroup. Now we again write the definition of Na. This will contain the element of G which commute with A. Right? Then clearly E belongs to Na. Why? Because A into E or A into E into A is A. These two are equal. So E is commuting with A. Therefore, E belongs to normalizer of A. So therefore, Na is not empty set. So to prove it is a subgroup, again we have to do the same thing. We have to prove that if two elements X and Y we take, let two element X and Y belongs to the normalizer, we will prove that X into Y inverse also belongs to normalizer. This is the way of proving the subgroup. So now X and Y are in the normalizer of A. It means X commute with A and Y commute with A, because both are the elements of normalizer. They are commuting with A. So we will keep this result as it is. Here again we will do the same thing, that pre-multiply and post-multiply by Y inverse. This was the element. We multiply by Y inverse, pre and post. So this will give us Y inverse and Y cancel, so we don't need to write it. Just A into Y inverse will be there. On the other hand, this will be identity Y inverse into A. So this is the other result. So we are going to use these two to prove normalizer is a subgroup. So we have to prove X into Y inverse belongs to Na. So it will belongs to Na if it commute with A. So we are going to check whether it is commutative with A or not. So we write by opening the bracket, or you can say putting the bracket around the last two numbers. Then Y inverse into A is A into Y inverse. So again we are putting the bracket on the first two numbers. X into A is A into X. So what we get ultimately is X Y inverse into A is equal to A into X Y inverse. It means X into Y inverse is commuting with A. It is commutative with A, means this element belongs to Na. So which proves that Na is a subgroup. This is the symbol of subgroup of G. Now the next thing we have to prove that Z is a subset of Na. Z is contained in Na. So we have to prove Z is a subset of Na, for which we have to take one element from this set and we will prove that this element is also in Na. In this way you can prove one set to be subset of the other. So to prove Z is a subset of Na, let X be some element of Z. It means X will commute with each element of G for all Y belongs to G. It will commute with every element of G, the elements of center. So if it commuting with each element of G, then it must be commuting with A also for Y is equal to A, or you can say A is also a member of G, so X will commute with A as well. So now X is the element of G such that A into X is equal to X into A, which implies X is nothing but the element of normalizer, because the definition of normalizer is the set of element which commute with A. So this is the element. So this element was of Z. It belongs to Na. Means if we take one element from Z, that is X, it belongs to NA means every element of Z is in NA. Z is a subset of NA.